Well, I have to thank Romanian V for this idea because it was something I was thinking about when I woke up because I was feeling for the crew and I was thinking, you see, I don't really know that much about my crew. I don't, we tell each other what we do on our time off. We joke around, but that's the thing. It's what we do on our time off, joke around. I'm the older guy, so I let loose with various observations about the world and opinions that the younger guys are kind of like, you know. Um, but it's overall it's the way men behave at work that I was thinking about. That because V brought up something Hassan Piker was saying about video game development. So I was there to watch. Like, I remember when Depth was not in America. The only way you got a copy of Depth is because you and your friends worked at quality assurance. And Depth was sent over supposedly for quality insurance or for quality assurance or for some reason. They said, oh, yeah, we need a copy of that so we could get an idea about this, that, and the other. So I was able to play Depth years before it became an American platform game. And so I got to see the kind of people who started video games as we think of them on platforms now. I got to meet the guys who tested the shit and moved up in the companies. And that I don't brag about it because it just happened. I just happened to be there. Nothing more. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time in history. And so this is such a dude realm. There's very few women who would even want to be around that world. When it's hot, when the industry is hot, it is creative, the games are coming out, it doesn't matter what you want to say. There's 9 developers who are men, and there's some woman in the room, you don't know who she is. It turns out she has something to do with also the technical aspects of game development, but it's these guys are mostly doing the testing. They're doing the testing for hours and hours and hours and hours on jumping in a corner, or punching the air, or doing a slide move, everywhere throughout the game to see, can you slide upstairs, that kind of thing. All the various errors that are in games. And this was a lot of money. This is hours of testing, like, just to see if anything goes wrong. Writing down whatever comes back, and then another team tests that error. So it's a very long process in when I got to hear about quality assurance, it didn't sound fun. My friend had to tell me it's not really fun. And on top of it, you will, for a period of time, there will be like downtime, sort of. So your quality, you're testing this game, you're testing that game. But then suddenly, in 4 weeks, you have to have this game out. Everybody, you're not going home until 2, 3, 4 in the morning. and my friend he just dealt with it because he was young. It was the time. He wanted that money because he found the woman at the cool electronic bar that we went to at the top. Let's go to the top. And our friends, when they weren't DJing overseas, they were DJing there at the top. And it was such a good time. The drinks were cheap if you could get to the bar. So, god damn, the women look good then. Aaron Clary remembers. A lot of you guys remember. 99, 98, 97. Damn, they were looking good then. So I then thought about at the bottom. So something Hassan Piker doesn't understand is sometimes people who run a store, a grocery store, they they are worried about their employees. And they have a general policy that they don't say, but you see it. You notice that everybody there after about 9 o'clock are dudes. Why? Because then the wolves show up. The wolves, the mangy dogs, the scarred up old cougars, all trolling up and down the aisles, trying to look for stuff to steal, stealing ice cream, stealing booze, dropping the fucking booze, trying to steal hundreds of dollars of shit. And all the employees can do is stand there and just look at them and just stare at them. That's all they can do. Can't stop anyone. There's no point in calling the cops. No point. Outside the store, there's a collection of crackheads on their cell phones planning their next robberies. That's what's going on. So, Hassan Piker, do you want a small woman working around that? Well, her boss doesn't. I'm telling you, it is not easy, because certain work requires that you have to be able to pick up 50 pounds of something burning hot and hump it to the pit, and a 5'4" diminutive nice young lady can't do that. I've seen these crackheads break these women down over and over again. The crackheads will all they got to do is start mumbling crazy shit. They start saying stuff under their breath. Every person I've seen intimidate women. There's two types of people I've seen make women cry, or a number of types of people I've seen make women cry. One are gay men women trust. That they'll say really ugly fucking shit because gay men are actually really, really, really bitter and mean, and they're not like men, so they don't have the honor to hold that back. So they eventually will start picking on girls that they know, out of bitterness and really envy that good looking catches, like them, because they're a woman, I think it's a lot of that kind of stuff. But then the other, and the Hagatha thing, but then the other is this, was junkies love saying racist, sexist stuff under their breath to people. Junkies love picking on women. I've seen this all my life, working places. Junkies are reprehensible human beings, more often than not. And they prove it to you by doing things that are reprehensible. And when you're on the bottom of the economy, they do and say stuff when they think they could get away with it. And immediately when they think they could get away with it, you could see their body language change. You could see that they're going to say something stupid to you. One of my crew members is kind of odd. He's just an odd autistic lazy. He's got Oregon lazy, and he's got creative Oregon lazy and with autism. And so junkies always try to intimidate him, but he appears to be so gonked out on gonko mode that he just shines it on. He just ignores what they say. And so he's literally one of these men that just is like, so this is what young men have to do. And I know how this is. When you are not, your kung fu isn't strong. You're intimidated by people. You're still young. You're a young man who's still physically small. That's all that matters. Hassan Piker doesn't know that because he's always had the privilege of being tall. And apparently a huge budget for shoulder pads. What is that about? Like, why is his upper body so strangely misshapen in that regard? And I mean, it never wears anything that lets you know if he has shoulders. But I don't know. Like, does he even have shoulders? his arms just come out of like he has no armpits. It's a weird misshapen kind of thing. Anyway, so at the bottom of the economy, to tell somebody you're going to work this job, that is, you're going to be on a concrete floor, you're going to be working in an environment that's hot all the time. Winter or summer, it's just always hot. You will be deprived often of hours if you succeed. If you do better and become more efficient, they will take the hours. Okay, so this is one of these things Hassan Piker doesn't understand. Why would women take that job? Guys take the job because we will do anything to survive when it comes to work. We will do that job. If that's the job that we got, do it. And we do it incredibly well. Like I know we shock our bosses. I know they're shocked. Like they can't believe that we're pulling it off with the people that we've got. I am now Pareto's distribution. I have become the manifestation of Pareto's distribution when it comes to physical labor. So, which means that I probably only have like a very short amount of time. My body's going to be able to pull this off much longer. My brain can. And that's the thing, is now it's mostly brain work. Now it's mostly timing. Knowing how to do this and then do that and line up what you're trying to do so that you get the most out of your time. But that takes a tremendous amount of experience. I mean, and I mean tremendous. I've been in the workforce since I was 14 years old. Hard physical labor is something that women are just not interested in. And once a job even starts to become more demanding, where the pace of it starts to pick up and stuff, you start to find you're having fewer and fewer women stay. The boys will stay, the women will not. And so there will be demands fundamentally to make the job a little easier on the employees, or to provide more benefits, really to attract females to the job. But it's too physically demanding for them, so there's no point. And that kind of work, raw production of product, it's just physically fucking hard. It will always be. It's because the value of human products is in their rarity. The rarity comes from the difficulty of making them. And the finite amount of machinery to machine it, the finite number of people with the skills to make it. That's what people want. Fabergé eggs were common. They wouldn't be Fabergé eggs. They'd just be another bejeweled orb. That everybody has those. Everybody has an orb covered in jewels, encrusted with jewels. But that's not the case. That has to be done by hand. There's probably very, very little real machining going on, as much as work by hand, with the aid of various tools. But probably very little of it's automated. Hassan Piker doesn't get, well, if you want an automated world, insist on women being involved. And that's it. I mean, I know that's hard to understand for socialists and people who haven't really worked a real job in their life and haven't worked with their back and their hands. But that's it. There's a reason why women like nursing. A lot of it is just simply talking with people and comforting people. A lot of it. There's literally some of the smartest places in the world. When you find out, like, surveys among, like, I think it was somewhere in Scandinavia, I want to say it was Norway, and they were talking to nurses, and they were asking about, the job and this and that, and one of the key things they said is they like the fact that they can chat. Even where I work, there is raw production that is very light. that's when the women are on staff. It requires detail. It requires certain aesthetics. It is physically very easy. When the crew comes on, they whip it out. The person who systematized where everybody's like, dude, he is so fast, is the oldest man there. The oldest man there can do all the production. He knows now how to do every single thing there. And just, yeah. So, and he's like old. Like he's an old dude. And the people like Hassan just don't get, they're just not there to see it. They're not there. You need a decade. You need a decade working at the bottom to understand this is actually how everything is made. This is how it gets done. People want to keep talking about these creative fields that are like this kind of flash in the pan in Western industry and such. You know, they've scarcely existed for more. You know, they've not existed a generation. I think at this point, Sega could possibly be a generation old, 40 years. But overall, no. I mean, there simply isn't something that could compare to. Yeah, there's just not. It's just not there. So, trying to kind of, there was because there was something else that this wrapped into, and I'm trying to remember. There's going already major media outlets. So even the fake news has reported. Well, a lot of women do work that fundamentally AI is going to automate because it's kind of intelligence-based data analysis, data collation, putting reports together. Always, do you remember book reports like Aaron Clarey, people from that when there was still handwriting, and that there would be that girl who their family already had what was called at the time a word processor. So this girl would come in with like this super professional adult looking report on, you know, Mr. Bumblefoot, you know, remember those Little Mr. and Little Mrs. books? You know, that you just couldn't even believe this. They're just like, who's supposed to get, how do you get an A? You know, how do you get, you know, like, yeah. And then eventually, you know, it became this thing that you had to type them and you had to have a computer and all this stuff, you know. And I mean, I remember seeing all this. I remember, like, one of the things people don't get about why Gen X, when they see poor Gen X people, they're seeing people who they could not afford a computer until the Pentium, and they could only afford the Pentium after it was old. And I know people are like, the Pentium? Oh my God, that was super long ago. Yeah. And they caught up to computers after the Pentium. And then from there, bits and pieces. Oh my, look at this. Oh my God, you did not just put she identifies as a large Great Dane or Pit Bull. I love it. But I love dogs like that. I really do. I have a weak spot for little tiny dogs. Yeah. Oh, I hope that person finds them. A lot of people around here, it's very, very important to them to have like dogs to kind of help them with their anxiety. This is something I'm starting to kind of have. I'm forcing myself to soften up on, because I see it enough that I'm like, there's part of it where in my mind I'm thinking, I think I'm being kind of mean about this, you know. And so I started to force myself to soften up on, you know, people got anxieties.
What, nigga?
you know, people have troubles. Now, that person's might get themselves killed by me if they keep following me. But we'll see. Now, really, I might have to stop this to call the police. Very likely I'm going to. Because she's going to head over to the local grocery store and start trouble. And, I swear, you see, I have to force myself to understand people. They do need, we need, it's the chamber, the rope, or the squad for a lot of people. And so Hassan Piker needs to understand that's a reality. Random, insane black women drinking at 10-something in the morning and hurling their beer cans at some random white guy on a bike. You know, that guy had no idea he was about to be attacked by a homeless lady around the corner. Oh, don't go that way. There's a crazy person. Super crazy person right down that way. Yeah, oh, okay. It's just, I just saw them attack a biker. That's why. Yeah. You gotta do what you can. But it's gonna be the rope, the chamber, the squad for a lot of people if it keeps going like this. So, DuBose Triangle Safeway in San Francisco, a place that I used to know well about 20 years ago. Okay, this is the kind of place that you have people going in and out of the door by no less than, 100 people go in and out probably every 5 minutes when I lived there. This is a big Safeway. They are now at the stage. Aaron Clary, I think, was the one who saw it, that he put a DuBose Triangle. I'm like, wait, so there is a subway station almost right outside this Safeway. Beyond that, the subways then come out from underground right behind the Safeway. They have a stop then, kitty corner to the Safeway for two other lines, one that goes out to the beach and comes from the beach, and the other that goes to kind of skirts the Mission District, the J Church. I'm talking about the N Judah and the J Church. And this is a major hub, and it's right down, like all of about 10-minute walk from the Castro. So if you're in the Castro, there's a high likelihood this is your Safeway. So that's the game end. And the DuBose Safeway has to lock everything up, and that you have to call to have things unlocked so that you could get deodorant, that you could get just normal products, completely normal products. That's it. That's the end. A part of town now that already the Whole Foods in the Marina District has closed, so that's one of the most expensive areas on the planet to live. That the Marina District / Fisherman's Wharf area Safeways have had to shut down. The Whole Foods has had to shut down. Whole Foods on Market has had to shut down. And now it's reaching into what is absolutely residential. Once you get to DuBose, this is the Mo. This is what they call the Mo. It is the gateway to the Fillmore District. Filmo for show, the Filthy Mo for show. It is one of the oldest black neighborhoods probably on the West Coast. And famous, absolutely famous. This is, yes, the great Fillmore Theater. So, that's it. The Western Addition is nearby the Fillmore. They kind of call Western Addition / Fillmore, but they don't anymore. They renamed the district so that you didn't have really black people. Really. So anyway, so Hassan Piker wouldn't understand. This is an area that was already notorious for a shooting gallery, because the way that the tracks and the underground rail lines set up like this space for people to just sit behind the Safeway and shoot themselves up full of drugs. Then they would come into the bathrooms of the various places around there and try to crap up your bathroom. And it was like constant, just constantly junkies trying to explode on your toilet. And like, what women want to deal with that? And I really mean that, like, not just this idea of, you know, with really this idea, I keep also running into this idea that when a place has danger, the idea is not to be like, it is natural for normal people to defend their women from danger so that only men work in that environment. The socialists on YouTube keep acting like, why are you taking power from them? So what if it's dangerous and there's crazy people might kill you on the job? Let them, they need to be respected. And I'm just sitting back like, do you not understand danger? And then that hit me. You don't understand danger. You're a YouTuber. You don't understand what it's like to deal with the lowest end of the economy. Like, I remember one guy, he obviously had gotten out of lockup not long ago. He had all the body language. He was obviously kind of, he was a Nazi skin. You could read it on his whole look. And he hadn't really figured out that's not popular around here. But he started fucking with one of the girls at the counter, just making her cry, just mumbling all kinds of crazy stuff, making her cry while she was trying to help other customers. And the minute that we like are trying to call over management, and this I've seen a bunch of times in Oregon. I don't give a fuck what feminists ever say. Every time I have seen customers drive a woman into tears, no matter if I worked for the most feminist business in town or not, they would ask the woman what she did to make the customer behave that way. Every fucking time. So I don't buy any of these fuckers who say that they're feminists or socialists. Never, ever. Because when it comes down to it, they never know. They aren't there. They don't do it. They never know. It's some fantasy world they live in where they think they understand the workers. They think they understand the poor, and they don't. They're phonies. All of them are phonies. Like, Vaush is really actually just plain out evil. But and I'm pretty sure Hassan is too. But it's most importantly is he's just a phony. And a lot of bread tubers or something, I think they're called. A lot of these people, they don't know shit. they're just wimps who don't really understand the labor market, and or they're the kind of guys who they are going along with it. They're cowardly, deracinated chubbies that are going along with it. Chubsters, chub bros. All right. Time for me to get on with my day. Peace.